Hal the Toucan was thinking about Snowanna. He was worried about her, hoping that she would be okay, though. Because Snowanna's still a little depressed about what happened. And he saw that Sandy and SpongeBob were talking together, which just broke Snowanna's heart. I feel really bad for Snowanna. When me and Dawn saw her sitting under a tree after she saw SpongeBob and Sandy talking, Snowanna believes that SpongeBob decided to quit on her, but he didn't, though. And I know Snowanna's still upset about SpongeBob. She feels really guilty and ashamed for all the fighting, and it wasn't her fault though, because she didn't realize that their relationship was strained. I should go over to Snowanna and cheer her up, and maybe give her some advice about dating, and that's what I'll do. I'm gonna go see how she's doing. Hey, Snowanna, you alright? Oh, hey, Hal. I'm doing okay, though. Me, Anna, Kelly, and Nature Life were just thinking about SpongeBob. Well, tell this to him if he wished, though. I see. You're upset because of how he was talking to Sandy, huh? Yeah, he doesn't love me anymore. That's not true. Don't say that. Besides, I do want to comfort you a little. Do you have advice about dating? Well, I have low advice. I haven't got much advice at all, though. I mean, Sonic did give me advice, though, but not much, though. Because he couldn't think of any more. Well, I can give you advice. How can you be sure about that? Well, Snowanna, before dating, people need to have advice from their parents or family or guardians or anything. You know, back then, before Wally and Eve were even met by the racers, remember how Vanellope and Francis were dating, along with Swizzle and Minty, Juby and Gloyd? Yes, I do remember that. Well, the thing is that you should know, they had advice already about dating. And here's another thing. The kind of advice that you need is you need to acknowledge your feelings. You know, tell SpongeBob how you felt about him. You need to be yourself and don't take it personally. And you gotta advise your feelings to SpongeBob how you felt about him, though. That's the kind of advice you need, though. Besides, before all that breakups, yeah, like I did said one time, you should be happy that he was there for you. Even though he wasn't there for you when you and SpongeBob when you and him broke up for the first time and Squidward made fun of you when he was around. The one thing you should know is that you should be happy that SpongeBob was your friend the whole time. Like how way before you guys were dating, you guys became best friends again. You were each other's new best friends, though. You know, that took place when Rob, Gregory, and Yandel were around before they died, because of Brian and his idiots. So the thing that you should be happy for is that SpongeBob was your friend, though. You have to acknowledge your feelings towards him. Don't take it personal, and be yourself. That's some kind of advice you need about dating, though. Besides, if it were for SpongeBob becoming your friend, you would have nothing to be sad about. Absolutely nothing. So you should know that. No more fights. So, and here's another thing. Like what I also said one time. One day, when you and SpongeBob get back together, you will be one happy couple. And let me tell you something. You know how Dawn was the first one to support your relationship with him? She was pretty impressive at it, though. And so was DJ and Ed. Everyone should know that. Yeah, I do remember that. They did support it, though, and I did appreciate, though. Especially for the first breakup that we had, when Candlehead had told Ed and Dawn about that, and advised them both to leave me alone for a while. That's pretty much polite of them. Well, they're your friends, though. Everyone should know that. We're all friends with each other. And like I said, one day when you and SpongeBob get back together, you guys will be a one happy couple. Just make sure you follow this advice. Be yourself. Don't take it personal. Acknowledge your feelings, and you must communicate how you feel about him. So does that make you feel better a little? Yeah, it kind of does make me feel better, actually, Hal. I gotta say, it's very sweet of you to comfort me and give me advice about dating. Well, yeah, totally. I am good-natured toucan, though. I'm a very good-natured friend. Everybody in the Angry Bird flock is as well. Well, that's good, though. And since that you guys banished Leonard and Scott and his crew from your home, that should be safe, though. So if you and your leader Red and the other Angry Birds help guide the Circle of Life, we can all be good, though. Oh, don't you worry, Snowanna. We all help guide the Circle of Life. Well, that's good. And let me tell you something. I really appreciate that advice you gave me. That should definitely help me. Yeah, totally. Now that's very nice of Hal to comfort Snowanna and give her advice about dating. That's totally what friends do. I am so proud of him. And I know Bubbles will too, since they're both best friends.